Hey guys, it is currently 2:38 in the morning on July 1st, which makes it day 1 of July Camp Nano. So far I have worked on The Dealer, which is the only new book that I'm starting this month as it stands. If I finish any of my other books, there's always a possibility that I'll add more, but it depends on which books are finished, and it depends on if that happens at all anyway. But at this point I've worked on The Dealer, which is Bo Austin Taylor book 10. And I wrote the prologue and the first chapter, which ended up being 2,240 words altogether. So, hooray. I will say that for the month, my nano goal is set to 50,000 words. I pretty much always leave it at that because I like the baseline there. And I like seeing what my graph looks like in comparison to what it would look like if it were November, basically. But my personal goal for the month is 124,000 words written, which is 4,000 words every single day. I will say, if you're new here, you don't know that I have a lot of joint pain. I feel it really bad in my knuckles, it's in my shoulders, it's in my neck, it's in my knees, it's in my hips, it's in my ankles, it's everywhere. Normally, you know, I use pain creams, I use compression gloves and knee braces and elbow braces. I have braces with splints in them for my wrists. I do what I can to manage. Recently, however, I have had an issue flare up in this index finger, and I don't know why, and I'll do my best to explain it. I crack my knuckles a lot, and no matter what anyone tells you, no, that does not give you arthritis. But, you know, I do this. It's habit. I prefer it. It's calming. It's, you know, therapeutic. I do it all the time. The other day I went to pop this one, and when I get to about there, that's as far as I can go before it starts causing me pain of any kind. And then I have a pain that shoots up through here and down through here, and then it stops about here at my other knuckle. But if I press it down all of the way, it shoots a very intense pain all the way from that finger up through my arm, and then it goes away after that. But the pain is still constant. It's just not a shooting pain until I press down on it. If you've ever been to the dentist and had a shot of, I think it's lidocaine, when they stick it like in your gum or the roof of your mouth, that very dull, achy, burning sensation that also kind of feels like an electric shock when it first happens. That's what it feels like when I press down on my knuckle here-ish. It feels like I'm getting a needle filled with lidocaine into my knuckle. And it doesn't hurt outside of that. I mean, like, it hurts. There's pain there that's slightly more intense than my normal everyday joint pain, but, like, this doesn't really hurt. Like, I can do this and that doesn't hurt it. It's only when I press it down to here and push a little further than that it hurts. I don't know why, but it's there. One of these days I'll have a doctor's appointment, hopefully. If anyone is ever at the doctor's that is not the last woman that I had to see for my pain, because she doesn't believe that my pain is real. She only wanted to send me to physical therapy in Nevada, so that way I could learn how to chew my food so it didn't hurt my jaw, which I wasn't in there for TMJ pain, which is what that's related to. But, you know, I don't want to spend 45 minutes to an hour like I did that time convincing someone that I'm in pain. So, if anyone is ever at that doctor's office that is not her, I'll go to the doctor's. But, for now, writing, editing, so on and so forth. Again, if you're new here, you probably don't know that I do writing and editing for CampNaNo. I also do it for NaNoWRIMO. I have 2 Nano accounts, one for my writing count, one for my editing count. For the editing count, I am editing Man of Darkness edit number 4, and I'll get into that in a second, and edit 1 of BV. I already have a few chapters done of that. My sticky note with that is on here somewhere, but I don't know where. I have sticky notes all over the place, and I moved a few things over here to bring my planner closer to me, so I have no idea where it is. But, with BV, I already have a few chapters done that I did last month or the month before, and I'm going to pick up where I left off there. And then with Man of Darkness, edit 4 is when I go through and take notes on everything that happened to keep track of the timeline and the plot and to make sure that things are organized and that everything gets done and so on and so forth. I'm a pantser, so when I write a book, I don't plan it out in advance. I let the characters tell their story, and that's that. And then I fill in stuff in between when I do edits. With Man of Darkness, all of the notes that I take during editing, the notes will be counted towards my written count, and the edits will be counted towards my editing count. So outside of that, with the written count, the things that will go towards it are The Dealer, JTS, Always Watching, FTZ, Child of Sickness, Pittman's Legend King, Fallen Blues, Feckenhauer, Bludgeoning of Caitlin MacLeod, TGV, and Voice of Wild Places Z, which I think was 11 books, but I had one of my fingers on the screen, so I don't know if I counted it. So it's either 10 or 11. I think it's 11. But those will all count towards my written count throughout the month. There's no guarantee I work on them every single day. There's not even a guarantee that I work on every single one of them throughout a week. I just work on them as I see fit. Sometimes I'll write like 100 words in some, and I'll write like 1,000 in others. Kind of depends on how things go. But we'll see. But at this point, I am going to take a break. I'm going to edit the final CampNaNo prep video and get that exported. And while it's uploading, because I can't work on my tablet while it's exporting because I edit the videos on my tablet too. But once it's uploading to YouTube, I will move on to Always Watching, which is a Beau Austin prequel, the Young Beau series. And we'll get into that and see what can be accomplished in it. And the only other thing that I have done today is related to The Dealer as well. And I normally don't do this with the Beau Austin books, but it has greatly helped me with all of my other crime books, and I'll get into that throughout the month. But it's in my work in progress videos, which haven't been edited and uploaded yet, but I'm getting there, I promise. But I took notes on the stuff that has happened in the prologue and chapter 1. It helps me, helps keep things straight. I'm working on 11 books, that's helpful. So, that's all I've got for right now. I'm going to go ahead and edit day 30's CampNaNo prep video, and we'll go from there. But I will give you guys another update as soon as I have one to give. Whenever that may be, it will be Always Watching. I might take a nap before then. I'm not 100% sure. Kind of depends on how tired I am after all this. I'm a night owl. This is my normal awake time, but I am on a slightly different sleep schedule right now where I'm sleeping like an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time, because then when I wake up, my joints aren't as stiff. And then I'm awake for several hours, and then when I'm tired, I go to sleep again for an hour and a half or so. Now you're all filled in. But we will see how things go. Whether or not I take a nap, I don't know 100%, but regardless, whenever I accomplish something and Always Watching, I will be sure to give you guys an update.